Everyone, myself Al Muqtadir Hussain. I am currently pursuing BSc Honors Chemistry from Aligarh Muslim University. Today I am here to discuss the topic of the structure of atom, and to begin with, what do we know about atoms till now? We have heard that atoms are building blocks of matter, is not it? So now take an example of this as a wall. It has many bricks in it. A wall has many bricks in it, and the bricks could be considered as the atoms, and a single brick can be considered as a single atom, together which they constitute and form a molecule. So like we can take another example of water, which has two molecules of hydrogen in it and a single molecule of oxygen in it. So we can say that it is a molecule. H2O means there are total 3 atoms in it. So we can say that atoms and molecules are fundamental building blocks of matter. Now we know that Dalton has said that atoms are indivisible. But is it so? When we study about electricity, we get to know that electricity flows through the flow of electrons. So to go with, we will discuss about the subatomic particles, which are also known as the fundamental particles. They are the protons, neutrons and electrons. Protons are generally positive in nature, neutrons are neutral in nature, and electrons are negative in nature. So with this diagram we can see that the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. The nucleus has neutrons and protons in it. So how did we got to know about this model of atom? Through the models which were given by the different scientists in the late the 19th century and so on. The atomic models given by J.J. Thompson, Rutherford and Niels Bohr are considered to be best to describe some of the subatomic particles in it. So now let us discuss the Thompson's model, which is also known as the plum pudding model. So take an example, we can take example of a pizza which has different vegetables, or we can say chicken pieces and all in it. We can consider it as a sphere. So Thompson has considered this as a pie, and the different dry fruits or cherries in it as the electrons and protons in it. He also said that in the spherical cloud it is positive in nature, and within it there are electrons. Within it there are electrons, and together they make the whole sphere neutral in nature. The negative and the positive charges are equal in magnitude. So this is what we got to know about the Thompson's model, which is also known as the plum pudding model. Then we go with the Rutherford model, also known as the nuclear model. Rutherford took gold foil because it was thin in nature and he wanted his experiment to be accurate. He also took alpha particles which were doubly charged. So he conducted this experiment and found that the positively charged center in the atom was very small or very minute in area. Then he considered this place as the nucleus. He also found that the electrons revolved around the nucleus in circular paths, and he found that the size of the nucleus was very small as compared to the size of the atom. We can take it as a large football ground, and a cricket ball as the nucleus, which has protons and neutrons in it. Then we go to the Bohr's model of atomic structure. So Bohr considered that there are certain special orbits known as discrete orbits where electrons are present, and it is allowed inside the atom. And though we see that Rutherford was very much successful, but there was a drawback, that he could not explain why the electrons would revolve around the nucleus and would not lose their energy as they were accelerating and fall in the nucleus itself. So Bohr also postulated that while revolving in discrete circular paths, the electrons do not radiate energy. So this is how we got to know about the atomic models, or we can got to know the developments of atomic structure which we see today. We will also discuss about this more elaborately